2011.
Okay.
That was the...
oh, shit. You guys both went to Cuba.
No, just me.
No, he went.
Oh, yeah.
I know you didn't go together, bro.
Are you sure?
No, it was me and a couple other single dudes. And we're like, yeah, man, we're going to go over here. We're going to go to the cruise. We're going to have some fun. And, didn't get
Cuban
anything.
pussy and all that.
Nothing.
Nothing.
No.
Oh, so how about you?
I mean, amazing sights, and we had some good times. We had, really good drinks. And
Right.
Had a great time, but...
Did you go to the rum factory?
Yeah. Yeah, actually I did, yeah. That was actually, we weren't supposed to.
Did you go to the Mora Castle?
No. I don't even know where that is.
Pops, you were there in 1956. The Mora Castle might not even be
Mora
there.
Castle been there for 500 years, for Christ's sakes. I'm sure it's still there.
Probably.
Jay thought that was a Cuban sandwich joint.
But
No,
how did you get there?
I had Domatis there once. And,
How did you get to Cuba? It was illegal.
To Cuba?
2011.
No, we went through from Germany.
Huh?
We went through there from Germany.
Okay, so...
I was stationed in Germany at the time,
mm-hmm.
and then we went from Germany, and, we hooked up cruises from there.
It was what was it, a German cruise or what?
No, it was something else. It was, I don't know, it was something from, I think, England to come through Germany, to go through Africa, to go through Cuba, whatever.
I'm sure the Tropicana wasn't there.
So,
did you go to did you see did you go to what's that, Smoky Joe's? What's that? There's one down in
Hey, man, this Cuba talk's dragging me down.
yeah, I didn't want
Kev,
to talk about Cuba. I was wanting to talk about cruises.
You got Danny and I going, and what the hell? I mean,
I'm sorry if I offended you, sir.
I want to smoke a cigar right now.
No, but when I did get off the boat, there was so many people there trying to get me to buy shit from them, and they're trying to put on all this clothes and stuff on me, oh yeah, $5, $5, and they're really pushy to get my money.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this: anything bad happen on that cruise that made you never want to go on a cruise again?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Well, not to me, but one of the other crewmates, yeah.
Crewmates,
this lady who was on the cruise, she ended up getting kidnapped while she was in Havana, and she was held captive for 3 days, and they couldn't find her.
Not exactly where I was going with this, but
yeah, I was like, okay, well, I really don't want to travel. And then the military is like, too bad, you're traveling anyway.
Well,
was there anything when you first got there? When did you get there at night or in the morning?
No, I got there in the morning.
Was there anything unusual where the ship, when the ship? Well, let me tell you what I saw when I got there. I got there in the morning. We sailed from Miami at night.
Right.
So it was in the morning when we got up, and there were a bunch of Cubans.
I was there all day on the sea.
Diving. You'd throw a quarter in the water, and they'd dive down, and they'd come up, they'd get the quarter. There had to be about 20 of them there. And
that's the Cuban epiphany.
Here's a quarter. Get a quarter. Oh, it's a dime. Just kidding. It's a quarter. Get a quarter. Oh,
anyway.
It's a nickel.
What's the object of the Cuban epiphany? So you get the quarter back. Thank you.
No, they were working for a living,
Well, so anyway, that was what was weird.
Well, I wanted to bring it up because I was on a cruise a couple of years ago with Lori B, and we went to Mexico, Cozumel.
I was there on my other one.
Yeah, and we went to Key West, and on the way back, Hurricane Sandy was coming up the east coast of Florida, and so were we. And we were parallel with it the whole time. We had 100-mile-an-hour winds dead on the boat. Dude, there was 40-foot waves. It was ridiculous. I have video of it, but that I was thinking about that today. And so I went online and I did a little research, and there's 8 of the worst cruise ship disasters of all time. We're talking Somali pirates, icebergs, coral reefs. They've all ruined many would-be vacations, if you will. Now, my weather event was pretty bad. My dental event in Cayman Islands, not so great, but it turned out okay. Danny was talking about somebody being held captive. I don't even want to get into that, okay, because that's probably a story that, Danny could do his own show about. You know what I mean? But let's run through these really quick here. These are the top 8 worst cruise ship disasters. Number 1, the Carnival Triumph. Everyone's been on a Carnival cruise probably at some point, right? The Triumph was supposed to be a 4-day jaunt to the Caribbean. It became an 8-day nightmare when an engine fire left the ship floating out in the Gulf of Mexico without power, air conditioning, or a working septic system. Nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty. Next one on the line, again, Carnival, the Splendor. Carnival's Splendor suffered a similar fate as Carnival's Triumph in November of 2011. Danny, that was when you went. The Splendor was stranded by another engine fire, but the Splendor was left floating out in the Pacific Ocean. And after 3 days just free floating out in the Pacific, it was towed back in to San Diego Bay with 4,500 passengers aboard. Imagine that, dude. You're just like, hey, extra long time on the cruise, woo! And then you're like, wait a minute, this fucking sucks, dude,
yeah. They ran out of alcohol, out of
If
food, freaking...
I was there, they would have definitely ran out of alcohol.
Oh, me too, dude.
Yeah,
I would have been like...
I about killed the alcohol anyway, dude, in 3 days, man. Yeah.
Lord.
All right, here's another one. The Costa Concordia.
Off of Italy.
Yep, the Italian cruise ship ran aground on a reef off the coast of Tuscany, Italy in January of 2012. We all remember this one, and it toppled onto its side. 4,200 passengers aboard and crew members. 32 died. 64 were injured. And the half-submerged ship is still being removed to this day, dude.
Yeah.
Nasty. Now, I remember
That's crazy, but if you look at it, they're not that far from land, so how...
Well, I remember this story. He tried to cut it short, and I believe this is an interesting story. The captain of the ship had been drinking, if I'm not mistaken, and he bailed, dude. He got in a lifeboat and was like, see ya! Checked out, dude, took off. He was one of the first people to escape that ship, 32 people
That's
died,
not a
dude.
captain.
Of course not, man.
No.
All right, moving on. We've got the Seaborne Spirits in 2005. While 100 miles off the coast of Somalia, pirates in speedboats attacked the small cruise ship. The pirates fired on it with machine guns and rocket-propelled grenades before the captain changed course and got away. None of the ship's 300 passengers were hurt, and the ship made it to the Seychelles, where the rocket damage was repaired. So they're like, all right, bring it into port. Got a couple welders. We got a couple of boat fixer dudes. Just patch up these holes and get back out there. All aboard.
We got sea turtles that need attention, man.
Yeah. Holy crap.
We're all
Imagine
good.
that. Imagine if you're on a cruise ship and Somalian pirates attack it, dude.
And your captain escapes it.
Dude. Yeah, he just turns the boat around. He's like,
See, I bet you that captain's name was Sully.
maybe.
Had to been Sully.
That's outstanding, though, man. If you sit there
it's
and
a little
think
boat,
about
too.
it.
There's only 3 lifeboats on it. See that?
That'd be like
Maybe 4.
the really cool cruise, though.
All right, here we go. The Celebrity Mercury. More than 400 of the 2,600 passengers widespread vomiting and other gastrointestinal ills on the ship, which left from Glick's hometown of Charleston, South Carolina. Glick is the...
You're lucky you didn't go on that
he's
one.
ground zero for the disease. He's patient number 1, numero uno, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're going to have some tests on him.
Yeah, we should probably have some tests. It was all from vaping, dude. He vaped some dick-flavored e-juice, and everybody got sick, dude. All right, so the Norwegian Dawn. At least 62 cabins were flooded when a 70-foot wave smashed into the Dawn in 2005. About 300 of the ship's passengers disembarked early in, guess where? Charleston, South Carolina, after the storm had passed. Glick, don't ever go on a cruise, my friend.
That's a fine-looking boat, though, man. Look at that boat.
It looks so happy.
It is, right?
It's a smiley face in the front.
It does. It's got a big old smiley face and a little nose right
It
there.
looks mean, man.
It's like it's wearing glasses. Dude.
It looks, or it almost looks like a dog, dude. Looks like a dinner or something.
Man,
with
yeah.
eyes up there and a nose.
Like the never-ending
out,
story, kind of like
little
this
mouth.
segment. Yeah, all right. So moving on to, we got a couple more here. We got the SS Eastland. In 1915, the year Pops was went to prom. Just 3 years after the
Year I
Titanic
what?
went to prom.
This year that we won the championship in playing football.
Hell
1950.
yeah. That's what I said.
I'll tell you later about the cruise I took in 1953 if you want to keep going, but I want to tell you about the cruise I took in 53.
All right, well, we're talking about some horror stories.
That was
right
a 14-day deal.
Oh, yeah? We'll get to that. All right, so the SS Eastland passenger tour ship rolled over while in port in, guess where? My hometown, downtown Chicago. More than 840 of its 2,500 passengers died in the accident. 2,500 men went overboard. 840 eaten by sturgeon.
Really?
Yes, sturgeon claimed 840 people in Lake Michigan.
Dude, wait a minute.
What?
You want to skip past that? I mean, I have issues to talk about with that.
How? Why? What?
You're, number one, how many atrocities have happened in Chicago, dude?
A lot.
It's been like,
it's a big city.
that story
Third
you just
largest.
read, the fire, the World's Fair.
What, you going to bring up the Chicago
Valentine's
fire,
Day
dude?
murders.
Miss O'Leary's lamp? What?
Geez, let's get present. Black Lives Matter. People killing people. I mean, what is wrong with Chicago? It has been forever.
What isn't wrong with Chicago? What's right with Chicago, man? Chicago is the greatest city on the planet. Just because a couple of hoodlums are out there shooting it up, man. Chicago got a bad rap, dude. There's since I
a
left.
lot of nice things in Chicago. I used to live in Chicago
So did I.
about two weeks out of the month when I was working with it.
I grew up there, Pops. I mean, I was a
No, you grew up in Florida.
Schaumburg.
Schaumburg is not
grew up in
Chicago.
Florida.
Well, I
but
was
there's-
close enough.
Well,
It's not like I never went downtown. I was downtown all the time. We go to Bears games. Went to Soldier Field. My dad worked down there in Addison.
did you ever go to Newtown or Maxwell Street or?
Well, yeah, Pops. I mean, you ever go to
Rush Street?
Yeah, there you go. Rush Street, Michigan Avenue, all that, dude. I used to go to Wrigley Field,
Holy
Soldier
crap,
Field.
we got an
I
ambulance
went on
going
my
by right
honeymoon.
outside the studio.
I went on my
Oh,
honeymoon
shit.
at the Conrad Hilton Hotel right down on
Okay.
what's the main drag down there? I forget.
That would be
Conrad Hilton.
Lakeshore Drive.
Lake,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't know anything about Chicago. I grew up in Schaumburg. Anyway, so the RMS Titanic, the original cruise ship disaster, the unsinkable ship, struck an iceberg in the North Atlantic on its maiden voyage in 1912, 2 years after Pops went to his homecoming, and sank into the icy water, killing more than 1,500 of its 2,200 passengers and crew. Now, I have a story about the Titanic. It's very brief. When they found the Titanic back in like 05 or 06, whatever it was, remember that?
Yeah.
They found it and they actually were able to go down there and pull
Yeah.
pieces of it up. Well, they had a traveling museum of parts of the Titanic that went to all the different. It was at Mosey in Tampa, right? The Museum of
I
Science and
remember
Industry.
that. I
Yeah,
remember that.
check it out. I went down there to check it out one day, right? I used to work right by Mosey off of Fowler in Tampa.
Yep.
And so one day I went down there and they had the exhibit and I walked up and I walked through the whole exhibit and they had the red ropes and the brass and the carpet laid out and it was really extravagant and nice. It was really cool. They had a section of the Titanic. I swear to God, it was 20 feet long and 10 feet high and it was just a big piece of steel. It was part of the hull. And it was
Yeah.
black and it was rusted and there was paint chips and it was just all beat up, you know. It's been in the water since 1912, right?
Yeah.
So I leaned over, and I don't know if this is, I think the statute of limitations is probably going to deem me innocent here, but I'll admit it. I leaned over that railing because there was no signs that said I couldn't do it, you know, not that I saw. And I leaned over that railing, that red rope railing, you know, and I grabbed a piece of the Titanic and busted it off. It was about the size of my two fingers, like you're getting a rectal exam, you know, and I grabbed it and it came right off and I put it in my pocket. And I had a piece of the Titanic, and I brought it home when I lived in Holiday. I used to rent a house in Holiday, Florida, and I put it in my toolbox. To this day, I cannot fucking find it, man. I don't know what I did with it, man. I have a piece of the Titanic somewhere in my mess of tools. Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
You're a dick.
Why? Why am I a dick?
You're a dick. Why would you deface a piece of museum history like that?
Because I wanted to bring it home and preserve it forever, dude. I don't know who's
I got no problem with defacing, but why in the fuck would you be dumb enough to lose it?
Thank you. That's
you know what?
issue.
Too, it's weird that you bring up like museum.
I touched the Titanic though, guys. So anyway, go on.
You stole a piece of
Kudos.
Titanic.
I did.
You
Yes,
didn't
I
just
did.
touch.
But
I stole. That's going to be our new shirts. I stole
What,
a piece of